Okay, so welcome to Discovering Creativity, and thank you for your time um, and for sharing with us some of your insights into creativity and also your professional life. So I wanted to ask you this first question. Can you tell us a little bit more about the type of work that you do to help people become more creative, to help consultants or trainers facilitate creativity? Mhm.
Sure, happy to do that. Thanks for thinking of me, and Hector, and I appreciate that. So, I have a organization called Creating Futures at Work,
Mhm.
and we do two major things. Number one, we go directly into organizations and do leadership development and training. We do that by using the arts.
Mhm.
And when I say the arts, I mean the full range of artistic disciplines. So we use the visual arts, music, theater, movement, improv, poetry, sculpture. We even use an ancient Japanese form of painting on water called suminagashi painting. So we use all of these different art forms. The way in which we do this is through experiential learning. So we immerse people in these arts and use that as a springboard for skill development and leadership insights. We do this as an outgrowth of the work that we did with the National Science Foundation, where we had a 10-year grant on the impact of arts-based experiential learning on a wide range of leaders and learners.
Mhm.
So that's one piece of the work that we do, going directly into organizations. And we work really across all business domains. So we work with major global companies. We work with medium and small size companies. We work with non-for-profits. We work with NGOs. Right now, we're working with the National Health Agency in Brazil. As an example, we work with Fortune 500 financial services companies, and we're working with a small little not-for-profit arts-based organization in Western Massachusetts. So we take on our work based upon what we see as being whether it's of interest to us and whether we can make a difference. But that's one piece of it. The second piece of our business is that we have a coach certification program in which we bring coaches through what we refer to as our ABEL system. ABEL stands for Arts-Based Experiential Learning. Coaches do not need to have any arts background whatsoever to participate in it. But again, we use experiential learning to teach them different tools and techniques that they can bring to their coaching relationships for individuals and for teams.
Mm-hmm.
And we, again, draw on our large portfolio of arts-based experiential learning tools and activities and experiences and so forth. It is a 9-week program. Someone emerges from that program being certified in what we call our learning portfolio, which is about 17 different arts-based experiential learning activities, workshops, et cetera. And they are also certified in the use of our assessment instrument. We've developed, under the supervision of the National Science Foundation, a unique assessment instrument that measures the ability of people to apply key leadership skills to real-world challenges. And that's a unique instrument, again, because it focuses on a 4 major skill areas: readiness to learn, cognitive agility, collaboration, and driving change. This instrument is also unique because it doesn't rely on self-reporting at all. It is scenario-based. People who take the assessment go through 5 different scenarios. They make their decisions and choices, and that creates 91 data points that then get organized around 15 different skills within those 4 broad categories. So a coach emerges both in the learning portfolio and the use of the assessment, and there enables them to bring arts-based experiential learning both into individual coaching and team coaching. So those are our two main things, direct to organizations and our coach certification program. We've certified coaches literally around the world, as far away as Australia and Abu Dhabi, as close as the United States, in Spain, the UK, the Netherlands, Italy, etc. So it's a pretty diverse group of coaches that are now certified in our ABLE system.
You mentioned something about developing skills and then insights on leadership. Could you elaborate a bit more on the type of skills that the people that go through your training in terms of leadership development? What are the type of skills that you develop?
Absolutely. So let me open something up here. So as I mentioned, the assessment instrument measures 4 broad categories: readiness to learn, cognitive agility, collaboration, and activating innovation or driving change. So under readiness to learn, there are 3 skill sets. One is openness to new information. The second is curiosity and inquiry. And the third is tolerance for uncertainty and ambiguity.
Mm-hmm.
Under cognitive agility, it is the ability to generate a wide range of ideas, behavioral flexibility, and resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Under collaboration, it's behavioral empathy, openness to diverse perspectives, and leading teams, team leadership. And under activating innovation, it is finding opportunities in uncertain circumstances, solving problems innovatively, and decision-making.
So finding opportunities, is there anything that when you're training groups of people, finding opportunities, are there some skills or tools that you teach them? Or do you use the arts as a metaphor to do this?
We use the arts to create conditions that we immerse people in, and that develops their ability to see things that other people don't see. For instance, I could show you something that I think is really interesting. Bear with me for a second.
Yes, no problem.
Let me do this.
Do you need to share the screen?
Yeah, I'm going to share the screen in a second as soon as I find.
So I'm going to make sure that you can do that.
This is an eye tracking study.
Yes.
And basically, this is what we call a typical view of the world. This is someone who's, a person off the street. This could be an executive in a business. It could be a student. It could be whomever. But when we look at this, let me see if I can get this a little bit.
If you want to, to show the slides show.
There we go. So we that the eye tracking study focuses, with a lot of concentration in the middle of the picture. Mm-hmm. It tends to focus on that human image, which is hard to detect because of the laser eye tracking piece of it. But I would say about 80% of the concentration is on the middle of the canvas or the image, with a few furtive bursts to the periphery. But I would say that probably 80% of this image is not looked at all. It's not taken in. So this is the typical view of the world, so to speak. This is someone on art. This is your typical art student. This is an art student who makes art, practices art, thinks about art, makes art. And you can see the pattern is very, very different. The pattern is random. It goes all over the place. There's not rhyme or reason to it, but the curiosity of the art-trained person takes in a lot more of the image. It goes to the periphery or in unexpected places, and not so much in the middle of the canvas. So this has profound implications, not only for an individual, but for a team. If you have a team of, let's say, 10 people, and they look at the world the way the person looks at it on the left, they're really drilling down on a limited amount of data and information. If you have a team of 10 that is composed of the image on the right, they may all be looking at the world differently, but they're taking in the entire world. So this has profound implications in terms of your ability to see more, detect more, be sensitive to the way in which one takes in sources of information. And so when we immerse people in the arts in this fashion, it trains them, it conditions them to look more broadly rather than concentrating on what is familiar and what is obvious in an image. It encourages people to look at what may be less obvious, but may reveal some really interesting data points. So that's an example of the way in which we use the arts to really activate the ability to see more and take in more.
What about collaboration? Is there any way that you can help us understand how you can use arts to help people collaborate?
Absolutely. Hold on. We take people through an innovation process using the arts and through the the iterative process of prototyping and so forth. And the way in which the iterative process and prototyping calls upon the perspectives and talents of the entire team. So we've designed a workshop that is called Innovation Begins with I. And it is about a 3-hour workshop that brings people through a series of arts-based experiential learning activities that help people create prototypes in a very short period of time by working collaboratively. So that's another example of the way in which we use the arts.
Now, is there an example that you can talk about, or a story you can share with us of any success that you have had in the past when you have trained people, or that they have been able to use and to bring value to companies using the arts?
Well, on our website, we have a couple of case studies. One in financial services, the other in health care. And those are good examples that you can access by simply going to our website and taking a look at that.
Yeah. Is there any feedback you received from your clients, people that you train in this methodology, about the value that you have received from your training?
Yeah, we've got all kinds of testimonials and that sort of thing. If that's something that you...
Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm asking you is because if something is extremely important, maybe you would remember something, but if you don't remember, that's fine. I'm just asking because these are some of the things that make life interesting. When you're doing a job and then people tell you something, it's very, very good. I teach creative thinking. I teach assist thinking hats and lateral thinking and creative problem solving. And one of my students went to teach in South Korea, and he was teaching English, and he used the methodology. And he told me that it changed the way he did things and brought 10 times the value to the students, that they were so excited to learn English in that way. So I thought, well, in a very short way, he was able to convey to me the value that I had brought into his life.
Yeah, so an example would be we helped develop the arts-based experiential learning program for GE at Crotonville, the Crotonville campus. And we work with literally thousands of executives across their global platform.
Yeah.
And they generated over $1 billion of additional value through the training that we did with them.
Okay. Well, yeah. I didn't know that counts, isn't it?
As I said, we're working in Brazil right now with a national health agencies, and we did a series of incubators with them. And they developed 3 innovation prototypes, and now they're bringing 2 of them. They're actually bringing 2 of them to market that are going to have. I can't place value on them because we're still in the process of doing that. So there are all kinds of examples of the work that we do and how it generates not only different ways of thinking and approaching, but how it translates into actual value in the marketplace.
Yeah. Regarding openness, is there any way that you use arts to help people become a bit more open-minded to new ideas?
Well, it's interesting. When we talk about openness to new information, we're talking about it in the context of a actual situation where someone is trying to move a project forward, and whether they've got whether they are very, very focused on completing the project and driving the tasks that need to get that done, or whether along the way they are able to be open to new information that might come their way, which is a little bit different than curiosity and inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
Because curiosity and inquiry is a kind of proactive. It may be an individual or a team that actually proactively asks questions and then pursues the answer. Openness to new information is different because it's simply the kind of a situation where you may not be expecting something or some information, but it does come your way. And whether you see that as being something that can contribute value, or whether you simply bypass it and dismiss it as just a lot of noise.
Yeah, what I found out very often is that people start coming up with ideas or questions that helps them think about some other information they may need to know. So it's this whole thing about triggering. Information can come your way, and paying attention is quite good. But if it doesn't come your way, what are the ways to generate a desire for new information that could be relevant? That's an interesting middle of the road type of approach. But I misunderstood when you talk about openness, because in the literature of creative thinking, there's a lot written about openness to new ideas. So
it's a little bit different.
Yeah, excellent. What about driving change? Is there any way, any examples, or anything you can share with our viewers to help them make a change in the way they approach things, that they can be a bit more proactive?
Well, the first thing is finding opportunities. I mean, there's a lot of noise out there. Mm-hmm. People often kind of get frustrated, and they shut down because of the static and so forth. But also within that, there are opportunities. And one of the things that innovative people do is they're able to put their finger on where they see an opportunity to generate value. Our model of innovation, by the way, includes a few key elements. Number one, obviously, it has to be novel. Number two, it has to create value. But number three, it has to have impact within the framework of feasibility and resources. So finding opportunities basically means your ability to find opportunities that can be translated into innovation within an organization. And examples of that. I mean, we've got all kinds of examples. I think the best thing there would be to check out the case studies that could point you in that direction.
Okay, no problem. Is there anything else that you would like, before I start continue asking questions, anything else that you would like to share regarding the value that you give through the certification to coaches, for instance, about the value of using that instrument that you offer, that you have?
Well, the instrument, we call that sort of the navigational system because we use it on a before and after basis. So if you're working with teams or an individual, you have them take the assessment, and it comes out with a like 21-page report that lays out where people are on those key skills, enables you to identify strengths and opportunities for development. So as a coach, you are then able to pinpoint where you're going to place your developmental focus with that particular person. It also opens up opportunities for discussion with that person in terms of their awareness of where they have strengths and where they might stumble a little bit. Then you can work with them for a period of time. And then after 3 months, 6 months, you have them take another assessment. And you're able to actually measure whether they've been able to grow in those particular areas that you're focusing on. So it becomes a tremendously valuable objective tool in working with clients. And then the learning portfolio, as I said, is a rich combination of activities and exercises that run from 30 minutes to a full day workshop that you can work with teams on.
Okay. Do you work with universities? I mean, like I was thinking about people in the arts of visualization that could leverage on the type of training that you provide.
Yes.
What universities do you work with?
My partner Harvey Seifter's worked with actually the University of Texas. We've done some work with Florida State. We've done stuff with one of the medical schools that I'm not sure of. But yes, the short answer is yes.
Is there any? Do you have any articles published on your methodology or training or assessments?
I think the best thing to do there would be to look at the research that was published through the National Science Foundation.
Yes.
I could send you the executive summary report. I could send you the full report.
That's great. I mean, just this is something that could be of interest to people that want to dig in deeper.
Oh yeah.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
No.
Okay, I know this has been a little bit shorter than expected. I mean, you mentioned that there are 4. There's only one last question I'd like to ask about this whole thing about readiness to learn. Did you say anything about that? Readiness to learn?
Well, readiness to learn is really the headline skill and it's made up of the 3 skills underneath that. They are each weighted in a different way that gives you a rating for your readiness to learn.
So what are those skills?
What's that?
What are those soft skills?
Openness to new information, curiosity, inquiry, and tolerance for uncertainty. Those are the skills that make up the meta skill of readiness to learn.
Okay.
They're weighted. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 35% openness to new information, 35% curiosity, and 30% for tolerance for uncertainty and ambiguity.
Okay. Now, the reason I wanted to ask you that is because being a teacher in an educational institution, being a lecturer here, I wanted to see a little bit more in detail, because that part of the
that's all part of the training.
It could be very good assessment for students.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the connection I wanted to make for the students, my students who are listening to this. Well, I wanted to thank you. I will follow up with the Institute of San Miguel de Allende to upload this video. I'll send you a link once that's done, once we have it ready, and I will share it with the students and the American Creativity Association when the time is right in the next couple of months. I will let you know. I'll keep you informed.
Yes, please do.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, Hector. You do well. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.